Welcome back to The Explainer. Okay, today we are diving headfirst into what might just be the darkest, absolutely most unforgiving, high-stakes fantasy collection ever forged. We're talking about the complete volumes 1 through 10 of The Broken Tavern. Listen, if you think you know dark fantasy, or if you're used to those dungeon crawlers where the heroes just magically find a way to win completely unscathed, yeah, you're gonna need to unlearn all of that right now. This is a high-octane dive, and we are stripping this universe all the way down to its bare, scarred bones. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. To understand The Broken Tavern is to understand madness. Now, why do they say that? Well, because it is not a building. It's definitely not some cozy pub where adventurers gather to share a pint and pick up a quest. No way. It is literally an apex predator. It's this living, breathing, reacting organism acting as a cosmic pin that holds infinite overlapping universes together. And it feeds on the multiverse itself. It actually weaponizes its own environment as its primary method of consumption. So if you step through its doors, you are not some hero on a grand quest. You are prey. You are stepping right into a personalized crucible of survival.
And that brings us to the absolute core of this entire universe. Rule 10, the law of temporal weight. Guys, in The Broken Tavern, there's an absolute, complete absence of plot armor. Zero. There are no magical resurrections, and there are absolutely no temporal rewinds to go back and fix your mistakes. The system, it doesn't care about your narrative privilege, and it sure doesn't care about your destiny. The system only balances cost. Every single tactical error, every tiny moment of hesitation, and, get this, even your greatest victories exact a permanent price in flesh, blood, or sanity.
As you can see, survival here is not protected, it is dissected. I mean, think about it. If you abuse timeline feedback, you suffer catastrophic biological regression. Encounter Wraith-class entities, your limbs are left completely necrotic, cold, and unresponsive. Or what if you just try to map the shifting geometry? Well, you risk non-Euclidean collapse, literally having your body erased by impossible folding space. So surviving here means you have to accept irreversible trauma. In this dimension, nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, returns intact.
So you might be wondering who actually survives an apex predator dimension like this. Well, it's time for a rapid-fire, adrenaline-fueled look at the diverse cast attempting to conquer these infinite floors. Now, to be clear, these are not your pristine, shiny heroes. These are the broken survivors. Let's take a look at the actual toll the Tavern has taken on them, because it is brutal.
First up, we've got Kalen. He's our fledgling chronomancer from Volume 1. He actually entered the Tavern trying to save a lost boy. But when a deadly pendulum trap forced him to push his temporal compass way beyond its limits, it triggered a timeline splinter. And the permanent price for that? His right hand. It was instantly aged 30 years from temporal decay. That wrinkled, gray, withered hand he's stuck with now? That is the irreversible cost he paid literally just to survive his first major run.
Next, we have Zalfoon, the biomechanical alien voidcaller. And his character data reveals a pretty brutal truth. If you look at the deep, scarred, featureless ruin where his eyes used to be, yeah, his permanent scar is total vision loss. It's the brutal price of his own arrogance against the spire lasers. But you know, beneath all those scars is this incredible, gritty art style. The way the deep black shadows contrast with those striking, neon burgundy void magic accents, it's just gorgeous. It's this dark American manga aesthetic that perfectly captures the heavy, oppressive atmosphere of the Tavern.
Now, what's really interesting here is Bram the Wild Forger. He offers such a fascinating, unique twist on your classic dwarf archetype. He is not just hammering dead steel in some dark cave. Instead, he uses bioluminescent alien flora to literally grow living weapons. But to master the living forge, he bears a searing, molten iron arm. It glows with this intense, liquid iron heat. It's a permanent, physical manifestation of both his craft and the Tavern's completely unforgiving nature.
Okay, this next transformation is hands down probably the most tragic. Captain Vexus, he was a lizard pirate who arrived proudly at the Tavern as a lawful pirate seeking justice against a corrupt cosmic commander. But as we know, the Tavern breaks everyone. To defeat a monster, Vexus had to become a tyrant himself. He is now a lawful evil grand conjurer, bearing this permanently ash-burned, charred visage. Half of his face is just completely destroyed. He can't even feel physical pain or empathy anymore. The hero is dead, guys. Only the survivor remains.
And the list of these heavy hitters just keeps going, with each of them carrying horrific permanent sacrifices. Silas the cartographer? Yeah, his legs were amputated by spatial erasure, literally just for trying to map the floors. Dravik the pyromantic tyrant?
His arms are fused into molten iron great axes. No way you walk away from that. Valerius, the flayed sorcerer? He actually willingly removed his own flesh, leaving an exposed abyssal skull just to weaponize the demonic forces beneath it. And then there's the Lone Ranger, just surviving the isolated alien wilds completely alone. Every single character here is a walking ledger of the Tavern's judgment.
So the crucial point here is that the Tavern doesn't just passively exist, right? It actively fights these survivors. Because it bridges infinite realities, the internal architecture is fundamentally unstable. You might push your way through heavy oak doors in this decaying Gothic library, only to suddenly emerge into a chamber full of gleaming sci-fi machinery, or maybe a pulsing alien ecosystem. It's wild. It literally reads your intent, your emotions, and the fracture points in your mind, and then it violently shifts to manifest your specific fears. And, well, when the Tavern finally decides it wants you dead, it initiates something called the grinding. Honestly, this has to be the most terrifying environmental hazard in existence. It is basically the Tavern's immune response made physical. Just imagine the deafening terror of collapsing architecture echoing around you like tectonic plates tearing reality apart. Entire rooms will suddenly slide sideways into dimensional voids. Colossal geometric mechanisms just shift without any warning to crush whoever is caught inside. You literally can't map it. You can only hope to survive it.
And this brilliantly illustrates how the environment actually decides to attack you based on absolute karma. See, the Tavern does not judge right from wrong. It weighs you on a cosmic scale. So, if you hold a lawful good alignment, the architecture might bathe you in this warm amber light, testing your vows. But if your soul leans toward dark karma, the space plunges right into desaturated void tones, and the system deploys its most aggressive, godlike executioners to eradicate you. The environment itself is the ultimate judge here.
So all of this lore, all of this brutal, high-stakes tactical combat where every single choice matters, it is all packed into one undeniable masterwork. We're talking 10 self-contained volumes, one unforgiving collection. This series literally takes the tension of a hardcore, turn-based RPG with Iron Man mechanics and somehow translates it flawlessly into a gripping, dark fantasy narrative. It's a real game-changer.
At the end of the day, the Tavern doesn't grant heroes, it creates survivors. The Broken Tavern Volumes 1 through 10 collection is out there, and it's waiting for you. It is absolutely time to secure your copy, read through the definitive archive of the infinite floors, and witness the brutal permanence of Rule 10 for yourself. So, my final question to you is this. Are you ready to step into the void and see what scars you earn? Go get the collection today.